everyone! So I am here with my favorite concealers. And in this video, I'm also going to include the only 2 color correctors that I own because I really like them. So let's get started. As always, I'm going to start with my drugstore ones because I just like to. So this is the Maybelline Age Rewind. This is a concealer that I have been through multiple ones of these. It has a little weird sponge on the top. You can tell this one's actually pretty new because it's not completely covered. It has the same thing with my powder video. I don't know why I'm swatching these because concealers are so unique to everyone. This concealer is like an amazing go-to for work. It's just an amazing go-to in general. Some people use the shade Brighten. There's various shades in this concealer that people use. I myself use the shade Light under my eyes. So what I do with this concealer is, as gross as it sounds, I actually use the sponge. And I do the triangle with the sponge and in the middle of the forehead and on my chin. And it blends out beautifully. This is a concealer that blends with a brush. Oh, I dropped it. This is a concealer that blends with a brush or it blends with a beauty blender flawlessly. I will say some concealers that I have don't really blend well with brushes in my opinion, but this one does. So this is the Maybelline Age Rewind. Another concealer I want to talk about is the NYX HD Concealer. This concealer, I remember when I first started getting into makeup, this was the only concealer I wore. So I would literally go to Ulta. They would have like the buy 2, get 1 free sales on NYX, and I would buy like 5 of these at once. Actually, no, that doesn't make sense, Erin. I would get 6 of them at once. So I'm in the shade number 4 in this concealer. This concealer is just awesome. My complaint with it is you can see that these are colors in these are a little different. My only complaint with this concealer is it runs out extremely quickly. So you'll see with concealers, a lot of them have 0.25 or 0.28 amount of product in them. This concealer only has 0.11 worth of product. So the Maybelline Age Rewind has 0.2. So this actually has a good amount of product in it. This only has 0.11. It's the same with the Smashbox concealer. I've never owned that concealer, but it's the same amount of product in this. So if you have that concealer and you see that you run out of product extremely quickly, it's because it's a smaller amount of product. This is a concealer that it's very easy to take the stopper out. This one's actually probably going to be gone soon. So you can take the stopper out and you can get more product from it. This is full coverage. I would not 100% full, but it's definitely medium to full. This is a concealer that is tried and true. If I'm going out, if I want to do anything, this is a concealer I will wear. The next concealer I'm going to talk about is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I was so against this concealer for so long because I kept saying, nope, people are hyping it up too much. I don't want to wear it. But it wasn't until Christmas when I was actually gifted one that I fell in love. I'm in the shade Light Neutral in this concealer. And you can see all my concealers that I have are all different shades. And these are all because I wear different concealers with different foundations. So this is in the shade Light Neutral. I love this concealer. This is a concealer that you can use with either a brush or a beauty blender. And it blends flawlessly. I will say though, if you bake with this concealer a little too long, it can look a little crepey under your eyes. What I mean by baking is I taking a good amount of translucent powder and putting it under there and letting it sit. This will look a little bit crepey with it, but you should be okay if you wipe it away within a couple minutes. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin, and again, I am in the shade Light Neutral. I think you guys can only guess I'm going to have a concealers video or a favorites video without having anything from Tarte because you guys know I love Tarte. I remember when Shape Tape came out and I literally stayed up that night to get this is not my first one, this is my second one. I literally stayed up that night till 1 a.m. because that was the time it went on sale to get this concealer. So this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is the most full coverage concealer you will ever find. I'm in the shade Light Medium in this concealer. When you use this, you do not need a lot of product. You see how big that doe foot applicator is? You do not need a lot of product with this. I will say with this, I definitely need to use a beauty blender because if I use a brush, I don't want to say it like wipes away, but whenever I try to use it with a brush, it just doesn't blend out as nicely as it would with a beauty blender. So yeah, this is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. My last concealer I want to talk about before I talk about my 2 color correctors is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is my favorite concealer of all time. All time. I will literally never, ever be out with this concealer. This is a concealer I can wear to work. This is a concealer I can wear out, and I know it won't crease on me. I can use this with any setting powder. And Custard, which is the shade that I have, is just the most perfect concealer shade for my skin tone. I love this concealer so much. I've never found a concealer that is such... I just have never found a holy grail concealer other than these. Yes, these are all my favorites, but this concealer in particular is just my absolute favorite. This was my first high-end concealer I ever had. I remember going to Nordstrom and being so excited because I wanted to go to the Nars counter and get a Nars concealer. So, yeah, this is Nars Custard Radiant Creamy Concealer. If you ever want to try this, they also have this in smaller sizes at Sephora. And what you can do with this concealer too is, like I said, any concealers you have, you can remove the stopper and you can get more product out of them. So when it comes to color correcting, I don't really do much. I have 2 correctors that I like, and that's only because I use them for different things. So this is the Sephora color corrector in the shade Medium Melon. This I use when I have not slept very long, or if I just need like my eyes to be brightened before concealer. I will say I hate this doe foot applicator because it's made, I'm gonna show you, it's made to be stamped. Like, it's not made to be like wiped just like any other doe foot is. I mean, you can wipe it, but it doesn't really do anything. You can see it's like not too dark, not too light, and I can use this with lighter concealers. The thing with color correctors is if you use a very, very dark color corrector and put a very brightening concealer over it, sometimes you can see the color corrector through it. So you want to try to balance it out as much as you can. I don't use this if I use Age Rewind or my NYX concealer because those are ones that it shows through. But I will use this with Naked Skin. I will use this with my Nars Radiant Creamy. I won't use any color corrector with Shape Tape, to be honest, because that's just full coverage. But I don't wear full coverage concealers on a day-to-day basis, like when I go to work or I just go to errands. So this is just another step that I enjoy doing. The other color corrector that I have is the Smashbox color correcting stick in Look Less Tired Dark. I had tried the light version of this before and it was just too light. Like, you could still see the darkness and everything poking through. So this is, you can see in contrast to the Melon, this is a lot darker. So this is when my dark circles are out of control. Like, they are on a whole new level and I need a lot of help. This is the one I definitely go to. And I know color correcting is like a big trend or whatever, but I legitimately get really bad darkness in my eyes and people never believe me. So if you don't have darkness in your eyes or you don't have redness in your cheeks or anything like that, you don't have to color correct. If you feel the need that you want a little bit of help, I know that green cancels out redness. Oh God, I always forget what yellow and purple cancel out. But I don't need redness. I don't really get red. I wear foundations that'll cover it up, but these are the only color correctors that I need. Alright guys, so that's my favorite concealers and color correctors. Let me know down below anything that you want to see. I think I am going to do blushes next. I don't know for sure. Why don't you guys let me know what you want to see? But until then, have a great day.